Hello, and welcome back to the Scrollies podcast. I am Sqat Cobbler, and listen. We've heard it. We've heard the demands. We've heard your angry letters. Where is the follow-up? It's been over 25 episodes since episode 4. We want part 2. Look, we got it. We understand, okay? Chill out, okay? Just give us time for this intro. We'll get to it. I'm Sqat Cobbler, okay? I'm here. I'm the rogue inquisitive with a fellow rogue, my co-host.
Hello, it's Ratnado, and I always play a rogue because I already know what I want.
Yeah, he's the dashing rogue between the two of us.
I don't know if I did say that, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm just reading your line. I don't know anything about this, man. I don't know why I'm introducing this one. Enough about that. Look, we're here back at Scrollies. How y'all doing? We're gonna be talking about a little D&D in a second. A little bit of a follow-up to that episode of so long ago. But before that, Ratnado, what you been playing offline that isn't Final Fantasy XIV?
You know what? I have played something. I think I did play something that wasn't Final Fantasy XIV.
Only because I'm running out of music to put over the Final Fantasy XIV segments.
Somebody commented that I haven't talked to in like years. Oh, hey, it's been a long time. How you doing? I'm like, I'm doing pretty good. Like, yeah, I never see you on Steam ever. Now you're always on Steam on Final Fantasy XIV.
Hey, it makes it easy to pin him down, folks. If you need to send him a quick DM, there you go. Don't use Discord. You use Steam Messenger. Respond instantly.
The main thing I've been wanting to play that I just got, I'm showing Sqat Cobbler.
I see it in his hands. Which Star Wars is that, Ratnado?
Knights of the Old Republic. It's the hard copy version. I mean, it's on Switch. You could just go buy it, but I didn't feel like doing that. So, as well, I'm replaying The Sinking City.
Wow.
I don't know if you've ever seen that or heard of it.
Never ever. Is it about Atlantis?
You would think so. No, unfortunately, it's not about Atlantis. It's about actually New York because of the coming climate crisis and everything's going to go. No, just kidding.
Well, that's going to be the next Atlantis. So.
No, The Sinking City is like a Cthulhu game, like Eldritch, horror kind of game, and it's got I guess kind of a famous setting. But it actually works out really well because in the game you play as a detective, which is basically what Sqat Cobbler's D&D character is.
Close enough. A con man, a detective. I mean, what's the difference, folks? Really?
Well, I mean, as an inquisitive, that's kind of like what the role is. But
I suppose.
I mean, but you can play it however you want, like you said. But here's the thing, though. I highly recommend that everybody go out and play it. It's always on sale, and I'll say right now, the ending is really not great. But the rest of the game is so cool. It's the game I've always wanted, and I wish it looked better and was like a little bit bigger. It's pretty big. But it's like the clues are built into the game. It's not like, oh, and here's a glowing ring around where to look. It's like, no, you have to go to this place and you just have to like look around. They do a couple things that make it easier. It's like talking to people. It's putting clues together. It's also, there's a little bit of combat because you have like these like weird creatures that are coming out of the ocean and you have to fight them sometime. But man, it's such a cool game. If you haven't played it, seriously go check it out.
Wow, bad ending, detective, Eldritch. It sounds just like that Switch game you played a while ago, Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, well, that game. Oh boy, you know what? There's no time for it, Sqat Cobbler. There's no time. But that game it doesn't quite match up with Sinking City. I think if you like collecting clues and like putting things together, it's super cool. It's a little bit dark. Like it's a pretty good game for October Night Spoopies, to be honest. It's a little bit creepy. It's a good setting. It's really good. But yeah, that's what I've been playing when I'm not playing Final Fantasy XIV. Sqat Cobbler, what about you?
We'll talk a little more about that in our Lovecraft games episode. Ratnado, what I've been playing is a little program, you could call it, on PC called Ship of Harkinian. Have you heard of this?
I haven't heard of this. Well, maybe I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. Tell me more.
Well, you might recognize it. You might recognize it as another game, a pretty well-known one. but it is the native PC port of one Ocarina of Time, running in widescreen in 60 FPS with free cam.
What? Really?
Yeah, let's see. I think I talked about what they did with Mario 64. They did that a little while ago, a couple of years ago now, maybe even 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They basically reverse engineered the source code from the original game to run native on PC, so it's not emulation.
Yeah.
It's running as if it was a actual PC game, and that opens up the door for a lot of mods, for a lot of accessibility options, for a lot of quality of life improvements. So, for tail end of August, because Kat demanded it, I loaded that up and played a little bit of Ship of Harkinian, aka Ocarina of Time 64 HD PC, whatever you want to call it. I think the name comes from those Zelda CDI games. I think that was a thing in there.
Right, yeah.
Was the Ship of Harkinian, so it's just a little tongue-in-cheek reference to that. But yeah, it was really fun. I got a little carried away with the cheats, and I created some problems for myself in Jabu Jabu's belly because I was trying to do the dungeon out of order. With the original Ocarina of Time, it didn't have a jump button, but there's a moon jump option in this mod. So I was just flying all up and everywhere. Didn't have to get any boomerangs. Didn't have to get any. In fact, right as I left Temple of Time, turns out you don't need the sages. Link just had to jump really high, and you can make it into Ganon's castle. However, I didn't have any of the items, so I couldn't really do too much.
Oh, okay. Well, but yeah. I was gonna say Ship of Harkinian. I was like, where does that name come from? But I guess that makes sense. They gotta hide it a little bit or something. I mean, Nintendo's lawyers. If you're still listening to this after all these episodes, glad to have a fan. Glad to have a fan over there. But we'll take the view.
You guys aren't exactly the most welcoming to your fan projects, so they have to hide it a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy because I do remember that Zogis. I was traveling or something, and you thought I was going to be get out of my territory. But no, I think everybody should celebrate Zogis.
Everybody should celebrate Zogis in their own way, so long as that means Chunky Cat is hounding you for more content that she's going to leave in the middle of because she fell asleep.
I know! She's like, yeah, I'll watch it for 5 minutes.
But hey, fortunately now, Chunky Cat's a culture cat once more. She's taken on the French culture once again, and because of that, the time zone difference, you can just stream really late, and it'll be when she's waking up. So there you go, no more missed content.
That's totally true. Totally true. Well, Ship of Harkinian sounds great. I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna have to check it out.
I should clarify before all of you go seeking it out. It doesn't have the full game off the bat. It's just a bunch of code that you have to fill in the blanks with your own legally owned copy of Ocarina of Time.
Naturally, easy.
Which we all have, just
of course,
ready to go for PC. So
I've got my gold cartridge right here.
Yeah, and a cartridge reader, and, USB adapter. We all got one.
Totally legit. 100%.
It came in the box of the N64. Just wasn't compatible at the time with the systems of the day. But now it works flawlessly.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
But Ratnado, enough about Cthulhu games, enough about Ocarina of Time mods. Let's talk about D&D. We haven't done this in so long. It's been almost half a year since we last discussed the adventures. In fact, there were no adventures yet. We were still making the character, and I think we're still going to be doing that this time. But the rogue inquisitive that is Sqat Cobbler, or whatever I shall be naming it, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of on you. I can't really help you there.
I'll be Icy James.
Icy James?
Icy James.
I don't know, I'm kind of into that.
He comes from the Barren North. That's where he learned all of his skills.
Yeah, you guys know Icy James?
Oh, yeah, I know Icy James.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good name, actually. Okay, Sqat Cobbler, let's do this. There's a couple things we haven't done. And for those of you at home, if you haven't ever made a D&D character before, this is going to seem like a lot of jargon. So I'm going to try and simplify it for Sqat and for you. And I hope that, some of this stuff are things that maybe you could try in a character as well. Once you understand what it's trying to do, it's a lot easier. The number one thing we have to do, Sqat, first of all, is we got to pick your race. There's some things that can change on your stats based on that, depending on what you try to be. But you have, maybe you just look through those and see if you have any like questions or if anything sticks out to you.
Well, let's see. Dragonborn. So this is the one from Skyrim, right? We got dwarf, elf, halfling. That's the non-copyrighted or the non-trademarked Hobbit term.
Dude, we're gonna get sued. You said Hobbit.
Oh no! Oh, sorry. I thought this was a Rings of Power discussion podcast. We'll have to wait until we have Warstaff on for that one.
Oh man, he loved it.
Oh man. Okay, I scrolled down past the basic roles and now I see a bunch of stuff I've never heard of before. We'll stick with the top part of this page. I don't know what a kobold is.
You'll find out when you play. We'll stick with the basics.
Well, let's see. So since I'm an inquisitive con man rogue, that means I have to be charismatic. I have to be smart. So I have to be persuasive. So I'm probably going to want to pick a race with some buffs in those categories. We got a gnome is +2 intelligence.
It's pretty good.
A half-elf is +2 charisma. A tiefling is +2 charisma and +1 intelligence. So I think I'll go with a tiefling.
Wow. That's a very edgy choice. Which is perfect.
Oh, I'm an edgy boy.
Perfect for a rogue. Yeah, exactly. So there's a couple things, and I'm going to help you out here. We have what we call standard array. So you're looking at your sheet, right?
I am.
You see all those strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
I do. They're all blank, but I'm ready.
Perfect.
I'm ready to make them not blank.
Sounds good. There is something we call standard array. It's 6 different numbers that you're going to place into these, and I'll give you a little bit of guidance on how that works. But the numbers are 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. Now, what you need to understand about these numbers are these kind of like say more or less who your character is, what they're good at. A 10 is completely average. So if you put a 10 in strength for average, it's like, yeah, you can move boxes around. You could probably toss some hay around if you had to and lift something, break something apart, rip it apart. But, a lot of people take that like, oh, I'm really bad if I put an 8 in there. It's like, no, you're just a little weaker than the average person. So for a rogue, what's really important and what's important in Dungeons and Dragons in general is dexterity and constitution, because dexterity is like how fast you respond to things. So I'm going to recommend that you start with dexterity and put your 15 in there.
All right. Well, you're the expert, so I'll take your word for it.
This is kind of abstract, but they take those numbers and then roll it into another number that is your modifier. So you have 15 in the little bubble, and you put a +2 in dexterity.
15 +2. Got it.
And all that's saying is anytime you do something with dexterity, you're going to get to add a +2 to that number.
All right. Well, I will look forward to adding 2 to that. Moving on. I got strength. So I'm fine putting strength a little lower because I would think if I'm charismatic and intelligent enough, I can just convince other people to do the heavy lifting for me. So, but I don't want to be too weak. So I might go with 10 for that.
Yeah, let me offer a suggestion as well. Remember, you also get to put a +2 into charisma and a +1 into intelligence.
Oh, that's fair.
You might be able to do a little something there where you I think you might be going down a good path, but charisma is also really important. As I think about it, I think you're right. I think that's a good idea. I think put your 10 in strength.
Yeah, this is my character. I know him. He's been there all along, just waiting in the shadows, ready to come out.
What color is his skin? Not that it matters, but
blue.
Okay, all right, I can get with that. That's a meme in itself because tieflings in the book, it's like they're usually like human colors or this, and everyone's like, nope, purple, red.
Why not? Why would you want to just look normal?
Fair enough. Okay, so strength, what can you lift? How far can you jump? Dexterity, how fast are you? How nimble are you? Constitution goes into your HP, so you get whatever that bonus number is, you're going to put that there. Intelligence is like how smart you are, like how much you know, in the sense of like, would you know the name of countries, that type of thing. While wisdom is more application. It's like, just being a wise person, not necessarily knowing things, but being able to work through something conceptually, maybe.
Sort of like street smarts versus book smarts?
Yeah, And as an inquisitive, wisdom is pretty important as well, because I believe that goes into a bunch of your unique abilities.
Okay. I want to be pretty hardy, so I think I'm gonna give Constitution something a bit not too high, but also a bit higher than bottom. So I'll give that a 12. And the numbers I have left are 14, 13, and 8. So I'm gonna have to make one of these pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
Decide which that should be, because I got these buffs on intelligence and charisma. So I can put that as one of the lower ones, but obviously, I want to be high in those ones. So, would you say it would be more beneficial to me to have higher intelligence or higher wisdom in my class?
So yeah, I think wisdom is probably going to be a little bit more useful, although both are kind of important to you as an inquisitive. But I would stack wisdom a little bit more.
Now that I'm thinking about it, these are 3 of my most important categories, so I think I'm actually fine being a little bit of a pushover, a little weak comes to my HP. Give that an 8 in Constitution, because if I can talk my way out of stuff, if I can if I can outthink the enemy, then maybe I don't need to have all that HP. So I'm gonna give that an 8 instead, and I'm gonna retain that 12 and probably put that 12 down in wisdom.
Okay, perfect.
So now all that's left is 14 and 10. So I think what I'll do is I'll put the 10 in charisma because I got that +2 buff. And then for intelligence will be real high. That'll be all the way up at 15 with the buff.
Perfect.
Just to recap, everyone, my strength is 10, my dexterity is 15 +2, my constitution is 8, my intelligence is 14 +1, my wisdom is 12, and my charisma is 10 +2. I'm locking it in. This is final. Icy James has been established.
Perfect. So, and then you put your 8 in Constitution.
Yes.
Because you should have, right? That's what you did?
Yeah.
So 12, 15, 14. You have a 13 that you can use somewhere.
Did I use 10 twice? Oh, I did use 10 twice. I scrolled down too far. I couldn't see it. Okay. Well, in that case, I'll put the 13 in charisma. That'll be my highest.
Go! Plus the 2, that brings it up to a 15.
Yeah, so my intelligence and my charisma are both 15.
Okay, now we're going to do the modifiers, and I'll just read those off to you. The strength of a 10, you get no modifier, it's a 0. Dexterity, as you know, is a +2. Constitution is going to be a -1, and that just means that, you'll see, it'll be fine. Well, we'll see.
It's fine until it isn't.
Exactly. Intelligence is a +2 at 14. Wisdom is a 12, is a +1. And charisma at 15 is a +2 as well.
Sweet.
Okay, so then up next to it, you see the thing that says proficiency bonus.
Yes.
This is kind of just a solid number that you add to everything your class is proficient in. So at level 3, it's a +2.
All right, +2 proficiency.
So we're going to pick a couple skills, and that just means you get to add that number. So let's say it's something like you're trying to persuade somebody with charisma of hey, you really shouldn't do this because here's the reasoning. And that means you make a roll, and I'll be like, all right, roll a persuasion check to see how this goes. You use your dice roll, the D20. You get to use that +2, and then you also get to add that proficiency bonus. So now it's a +4.
Okay, so it's going to be +4. I don't have to roll dice?
Whatever you do roll, you're going to add that number onto it.
Okay, got it.
In the game, that's how it would work, if you have a proficiency in that. Very simple.
+2.
Saving throws, click that radial button next to dexterity and intelligence.
Both are clicked.
Like I said, that just means if I say, hey, make a dexterity saving throw, that means something's probably a trap went off. How fast can you react? Or something starting to clap. How able are you to jump through it and get out of there? You'll take your dexterity of +2, your proficiency bonus, so that's a +4, and then you'll roll that saving throw. And I might in my mind, I'll be like, Sqat, he pushed open this door and it was booby trapped. He sees the thing dropping that's going to drop into a chemical that's going to explode. Do a dexterity saving throw. How quick are you oh no, get out of here. And in my mind, that's he's got to beat a 15. And so you'd roll, add those numbers together, and be like, okay, Sqat Cobbler, you see it, time goes still. As you watch, you immediately grab the door, spin around it, slam the door behind you, and drop and take cover as it explodes, and you take no damage.
I know dropping explosive when I see one.
Or maybe a bucket of water. It doesn't always have to be an explosion.
Well, Icy James is terrified of buckets of water. Those become icy once they land from where he's from.
Shouldn't that be like his friend? Shouldn't he be knowledgeable about ice?
Oh yeah, that doesn't mean he's gonna actively just allow it to be poured on him, you know? Oh, that'd be silly. That wouldn't be very intelligent or wise.
Yeah, you're right.
So wait, which numbers do I put in the saving throws? Do I put those plus?
Yeah.
Okay, so plus
and then
4 dexterity.
Some people will put that in there, but it can hamper you because in a couple levels you'll get a +3 proficiency bonus. I would just put in a +2. So just pull those numbers from your abilities.
Okay, +2.
And then just know if it has that circle next to it filled in, you get to use your proficiency bonus for it.
Got it.
So now we go to some skills. We're going to pick some of those. And the thing about rogues are like good at everything. They're the jack of all trades.
All right. Glad to hear it. I never could settle on a specific profession, so this is good.
I can praise rogues all day. So if you look at those skills, you can choose 4 of them. And that's significant because a lot of other classes will let you do 1, maybe 2. They won't give you all of them because, it's like, hey, you're a cleric. You kind of don't really get that. You get to choose 4 of these bad boys.
Well, I think naturally I gotta go for performance under charisma. Pretty innate to Icy James as a person.
When I think of Icy James, I think of a really good performance.
Yeah. It's all about the dramatic flair. Sleight of hand, I think, would be pretty handy. No pun intended.
That pun was intended.
I admit it. Okay, so yeah, we'll go with sleight of hand, performance, perception. What would perception be? How would that be applied?
So perception is kind of just like an indication of how aware you are of things going on. It's a wisdom type thing, as you can see there. And that's just like, do you notice something's off? Did you notice the temperature change? Did you hear a creak? Like those types of things. Kind of just like, presence of mind.
Got it.
Whereas something like investigation is like, you can look at something and be like, I get how this is put together. All those types of things, it's a little bit more like applied.
Got it. Okay, because investigation was the other one I was looking at. So let's do sleight of hand, investigation, perception, and performance.
Perfect. Just tick those numbers. You can always fill those in later. All that's going to tell your brain is if I say, all right, Sqat Cobbler, give me a sleight of hand check as you try and steal this thing from this guy's pocket. You take your dexterity bonus +2, then you take your proficiency bonus, and now you get a +4 to that roll.
All right.
Okay, we'll go on to a couple more things there. Initiative, that's just going to be your dexterity bonus. Initiative, you might have heard people hear that all the time, roll initiative. That's like at the start of combat, signifying, hey, things are getting formally into combat. How fast is everybody responding? So rogues are usually the fastest. Dexterity is really good for everybody. For this reason, it's just so important in so many things. You got a +2. Speed is going to be 30 feet because you're a medium character, just like normal people, just like, 5 foot to maybe 8 feet, maybe somewhere around there. That's just your normal gait. It means you can go about 30 feet every 6 seconds.
I think this world is going to use the metric system, so I'm going to put 5 meters instead.
Hit point maximum. This one's going to be kind of hard for you, Sqat Cobbler. At first level, your HP is going to be 8 plus your Constitution modifier, but unfortunately yours is a negative, so it's going to be 7.
Oh, all right.
But we're going to speed you up and bump you up 2 levels, so you can actually get 2 more levels, and the way you decide that of the next ones, you can roll a 1d8 and then add your Constitution modifier, or you can take a flat 5. So
you know what? I'm feeling lucky.
Oh gosh. Famous last words.
I got my 8 dice right here, and I'm adding +5 to it, or
no, -1 from it.
Oh, okay. Well, this was a mistake. All right. It's a 1, so my 0.
Reroll on ones.
Reroll. 5.
Okay.
So minus 1 is 4. Oof.
That's what you would have got.
Okay, didn't gain, didn't lose anything.
You got 1 more level though. Do you want to just take the 5, or do you want to take another shot at getting potentially an 8?
I did say I was feeling lucky.
Let's go.
Let's do it. And 6. So it's a 5.
Okay.
All right, so
That's pretty good.
literally no difference.
So 16.
The dice roll, right?
16 HP. That's pretty low.
All right. Hey, like I said, I won't need it. I'm gonna talk my way out of stuff.
There you go. Good point. So you've got your hit point maximum. You've got your current hit points. As you play, you'll feel that out. Dice. You're gonna have 3d8 in there because you have 3 levels in rogue, and as a rogue, your hit dice is 1d8. All this means is you can take a short break and roll that die and regain that much HP. You could use them all. You could use one. You could use none at any time during the day, but they only come back after you've slept for 8 hours.
Oh, I need my beauty sleep, so naturally. Maybe even 8.5.
Icy James probably doesn't need it, but he's careful.
Yeah, you never know when you might be up for all hours of the night. You need that extra little bit of sleep.
Death saves, hopefully Icy James won't have to learn about death saves, but when you go down, like if you lose all your HP, you will roll, instead of taking a turn, you'll roll, and if you get, I think it's a 1 through 10, that is a fail, and an 11 through 20, or maybe it's 10 through 20, I don't remember. Well, it's been a minute, but whatever that is, that's a success, and if you get 3 fails, your character's dead. He's just dead. Nothing can bring him back.
And rip. That was the end of Icy James.
Let's get him a couple more things. We got to get him his armor. We got to figure out his armor class. So as a rogue, you are proficient with light armors. And that just means like you can use padded, leather, and studded.
Got it. Well, let's see. Studded seems pretty stylish, so we'll go with studded armor.
Normally, you're going to have to like pick a certain kind, but we'll let you have studded. And that's going to give you a 12 plus your dexterity modifier, aka your armor protects you, but how quick can you dodge around an attack or whatever. 14 will be your armor class.
All right.
Next up, let's pick your equipment. You can choose between a rapier or a short sword. An épée, as Plaidman would say.
What's the difference? Reach?
I think they're pretty comparable. So there's going to be some things out there, like say like a rock thing. It's like you're not going to pierce it. You're better off doing bludgeoning. It's kind of just depends on how you want to go about things, but it's usually good to try and vary. Like if you're going to also get a dagger or something like that, which is a piercing, it's like, well, let me get the short sword. Now I've got piercing and slashing. So here's how it works. You can have a rapier or a short sword. That's one option. And then your next choice is between a short bow and quiver of arrows or another short sword.
Okay. So range versus adaptability in combat.
And with your HP, I would say range probably isn't a terrible idea.
Probably not. I'm a quick to take a hit. Let's go with a short sword and let's go with a bow and quiver. So
a short sword and a rapier, they all have this thing that it's a specific quality about it that's called finesse, right?
Yeah.
So, because you have, as a rogue, you have proficiency, that just means you don't incur any things like that, and you get to use your bonus on that. You also get to use on short swords and rapiers what's called the finesse property, because it's a light thing, and that just means you can then choose to use a different stat than strength. Normally when you're using a weapon, you use a strength to decide that, but, you got a lighter touch, you're a little bit faster of a dude, you can use your dexterity there.
All right.
And because it's a light weapon, you also get a proficiency. So, you can then say, you could put a +4 in there, knowing that it's going to change as you get better at things.
+4 in short sword. All right. And same for bow?
No, it's not going to be for that.
Okay.
But in short sword, let's finish short sword. Don't get ahead of me, Sqat.
Okay. I'm just so eager to get Icy James fully equipped with his arsenal.
We need to play. We do need to play. But short sword. Okay, so you're going to put piercing damage. I'm sorry. I think I said it was slashing, but it is piercing.
Gotcha. Well, in that case, I'm doing rapier because it sounds more fun.
Yeah. You right. No, you right. In fact, that's actually better. It does a little bit more damage. So.
Oh, well, there you go. Trying to sabotage me, Rat.
It's been a minute, okay? But you're going to put 1d8 piercing.
All right.
All that means is you're going to roll 2 dice when you attack. The first one is the D20 with, the iconic die. And then you're also going to roll the D8, which looks kind of like, I don't know, a diamond a little bit. And you roll those 2. The D20 decides if you hit, and the D8 decides how much you hit for. And you also get to add I believe it's your dexterity bonus to that. So you're also going to add a +2 to your damage. So you roll a D8, say you get a 6. You also get to add +2 as well on top of that for being proficient with light weapons.
Okay, so 1d8 plus 2.
Yeah. Short bow is going to be the same. You're going to get a +4 to your attack bonus, and it's going to be a 1d6 plus 2 of piercing.
All right.
Whew. Okay, that's the biggest chunk of it.
All right. I'm great. And Slippin' James is even better. He's got his armor, he's got his weapons, he's got his personality down pat.
But wait! There's more!
Oh boy. Oh, I see. There's more of the sheet.
So there's a couple things you just need to have. For one, in features and traits, just put dark vision. In complete darkness, you can see 60 feet around. You can see grays.
Sure.
Also write hellish resistance, which is just resistance to fire damage, and then write down infernal legacy.
What's that do?
So that, and we won't get too deep into this. I'll explain it later when we do actually play, because this would take another 30 minutes.
Yeah, we'll save that for the part 3, guys, in 2023.
In cantrip, put thaumaturgy, and that just means thaumaturgy is just like a cantrip, which is like a spell you can cast as much as you want. They're pretty weak, but you can use them a lot.
Wait, where am I putting that? In spells?
Yeah, under cantrip. THAUMATURGY.
Got it.
I'm like, Sqat, why don't you know what thaumaturgy is? How do you not know that already?
Oh man, guys, Icy James, he's new to this, okay? He's fresh out of wizard school.
He's doing pretty good, honestly. The fact that Icy James went to school is pretty amazing.
Oh, hey, he's a smart cookie. He knows it'll get him ahead in this cold world.
Thaumaturgy is actually probably going to be really useful for him. Your voice booms 3 times as loud as normal for 1 minute. You can cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color for 1 minute.
It's that dramatic flair.
Exactly. And I think you're going to be able to use it a lot. Kind of basic, but yeah, it's kind of cool.
Well, as we've established, Ratnado, I am a basic bitch.
Yeah, that's true. Where did that come from, by the way?
It came from eating stoofers.
But where did that come from?
It came from the grocery store.
Stoofers. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm behind on stoofers, I guess. I know you said it, but anyways, we're not sponsored by stoofers.
Not yet. We're trying to work out the deal, but they are a mainstream brand. They have a lot of people coming to them for sponsorships.
Hey, stoofers, we're willing to run stoofer ads.
Willing and able.
Okay, maybe one or two more things. Other proficiencies are in languages on the first page.
Got it. Language.
So you just have common and infernal.
Oh, I slept through those classes in my school.
What kind of person do you think that Icy James is?
We all know Icy James.
So, your background, that's going to give you like another extra little thing that makes your character unique. We got different things. We got Acolyte. You have spent your life in the services of a temple. Doesn't really sound like Icy James, right?
Nah.
Criminal. You are an experienced criminal with a history of breaking the law.
That sounds like Icy James to me.
I'll read a couple more. Just entertainer. You thrive in front of audiences. You know how to entrance them, entertain them, and even inspire them.
I think that's Icy James.
Guild artisan. You're a member of the Artisans Guild, skilled in a particular field and closely associated with other artisans.
Perhaps. It depends on the trade.
Hermit. You lived in seclusion, either in a sheltered community or entirely alone for a formative part of your life.
Oh, that's not Icy James at all.
No.
He's out and about. He knows people.
Yeah.
All walks of life.
Yeah, he's a man of the people.
Yeah.
Noble? No.
Nah.
An outlander? You grew up in the wilds? I don't really think that's him either.
Who's to say?
Well,
I guess I'm to say, but no.
Sage, you spent years learning the lore of the multiverse.
You know, maybe under certain substances, Icy James got a bit of understanding of the multiverse, but I don't think he ever quite reached that point of sagehood.
Right. Okay. Sailor, you sailed on a seagoing vessel for years. You faced down mighty storms, monsters of the deep, and those who wanted to sink your craft.
Aye, that sounds like Icy James.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Okay, last one is Soldier, which, you know, you've been in war, you trained as a youth. And then finally, Urchin. This one you might like too. Let me read this one. You grew up on the streets alone, orphaned and poor. You had no one to watch over you to provide for you, so you learned to provide for yourself.
Sure. Yeah, that's Icy James.
You think that's Icy James? He's an urchin?
I think that's Icy James.
Okay, cool. So, write down in background, up at top, write urchin. Now, you get 2 more skill proficiencies, which is sleight of hand and stealth. I'll let you pick one more, because you already chose sleight of hand.
Okay. We'll go with persuasion.
That's really good. You can write in other proficiencies and languages in the bottom left, write disguise kit and thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools.
Which you already had as a rogue.
Disguise kit.
And then in features and traits, write down secrets. That just means when you're not in combat, you can travel between any 2 locations in a city twice as fast as your speed would normally allow. So personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws are kind of just like they're just helping you to kind of understand who your character is. They're not. I don't think they're necessary. Like, I think it's boring when people are like, but my personality trait is this. It's like, no, just you know the person.
I know Icy James.
Exactly. You can pick one if you want, but like I said, this is just like for helping people who don't know who they want to be.
Let's go with their personality traits. I think anyone who's nice to me is hiding evil intent. He's mistrusting, Icy James. He's had a lot of bad run-ins.
That's what's kept him alive.
Yeah. And then Icy James wants to give a little retribution. The rich need to be shown what life and death are like in the gutters.
Classic Icy James.
That's evil. It says evil in parentheses next to it.
Well,
you know, I think that's fair. That's what I'd call that.
Yeah.
You know, some may say evil, I say fair.
So normally people would be like, no, you can't do that. But I mean, I trust you as a person not to be like evil. You know, but
you trust me, but do you trust Icy James?
I never trust Icy James.
Good.
That's the difference.
All right, bonds. You know, we gotta outweigh this evil a little bit. I sponsor an orphanage to keep others from enduring what I was forced to endure. That's nice. That's nice of Icy James.
Good job, Icy James.
You know, looking out for the kiddos. And then flaws. People who can't take care of themselves get what they deserve.
Dang.
Icy James, I mean, he's got a cold heart. That's where the icy comes from. Or maybe not. Maybe not. All right.
That's basically it.
You know, Ratnado, the first time we talked about this, I revealed in the past I've only ever played D&D as a troll. Now I'm going the straight and narrow, legit. No trolling to be had, because promise was it would be more fun this way. So, thank you for walking me through this. Thank you for getting this character set up. I guess part 3, well, we'll be getting into gameplay, or are we still going to be establishing stats?
I've been thinking about that. It would be kind of fun to play. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some games going and we'll just do like a short little 1 hour, 2 hour game or something like that at some point. And bonus, or we'll figure that out.
Well, there you go. Keep your eye out for Icy James, everyone, and he'll be coming your way in the future, along with a actual D&D session.
I know this was a bit long, everybody, but it's Dungeons and Dragons, and that's kind of how it is. So I hope if somebody listened to this whole thing, hello.
Yeah, if you listen to this whole thing, share some ice gifs in the Discord.
All right, thanks everybody for listening. If you are here, and hey, maybe we'll play some D&D sometime. I'm trying to get back on it. FanX is coming up. If you are somewhere in the Mountain West anywhere, FanX at Salt Lake City, September 22nd through the 24th, we have FanX Comic. It's like a comic convention going on. It's going to be fun. And your boy's going to be there running some tables and managing people. And it's going to be great. So I don't think anybody is. I think there's only 1 or 2 people that are really close by. But it's going to be a good time. And I'll be doing lots of D&D there.
Nice. Icy James will not be in attendance, but that sounds like a fun time to be had. You might even call it RatCon 1.7.
I think so. I think it was a 1.7.
Yeah, somewhere in there. But yeah, thank you, Ratnado, for walking me through the rest of this character creation. It's been a fun time had, and maybe part 3 won't be so long, so long from this one. But everyone, we'll be catching you next time. I've been Sqat Cobbler of the Scrollies podcast, and I am being mentored by my co-host
Ratnado of Team Ratnado at Twitch. I'm on hiatus currently, but I am looking for a new place to get internet and be back online.
Let's hope that day comes sooner than later. Hopefully before September comes to it. No, I'm kidding. That won't happen. Let's hope that day comes soon enough, Ratnado, because we miss you. We miss the Ratnado streams, but we're still here giving you scrollies every week, so we'll be seeing you next time. See ya.
Bye!
Ba 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 ba. Team Ratnado.